Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality. Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Thank you for your feedback on my last reading and for all your comments and likes, and to new subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, today, of course, we'd have to start with the No Kings rally in America. What did Trump and his government, his regime, think about that? 7 million, estimated 7 million people turned out for that No Kings rally, protests all around America. And that is it's thought to be the largest protest in American history, but also quite pointedly against a president. So people turned up en masse, and it was just, the energy was just wonderful to see. And of course, all this talk about domestic terrorists and Antifa and, protesters were peaceful. These were peaceful protests. And what I found particularly, endearing, funny, were the number of inflatable animals that were protesting as well. People donning those suits and dancing, and there was music. It was to me, sitting here from Australia looking on, it was a tremendous example of community and peaceful protesting as well. So what did Trump do? It was quite bizarre. He had posted on his Truth Social him in a plane with a crown on, bombing the protesters with feces. And I thought to myself, is this what it has come to? I guess he was trying to show what he thought were the ridiculousness of the protest, but he only succeeded in showing the ridiculousness of him. So we'll look at what did they really think deep down. What did they really think about the No Kings? The just sheer weight of numbers, people power. I talk a lot about oligarchy. I talk a lot about transnational private companies that are pulling strings, the strings that aren't good for us. And certainly we're seeing that play out in America at the moment. So the No Kings rally was the absolutely perfect antidote to all of that, to show these oligarchical interests that people actually do have power, that America is still a democracy. And the West is not so easily thrown over. Okay, so a No Kings rally, we'll start with that. Patel came out and, tried to debunk conspiracy theories. We didn't even try and debunk them regarding the Charlie Kirk assassination. He came out and said, we're not listening to any of these conspiracy theories. Well, goodness gracious, I think it's pretty clear that the evidence that he and his department have put forward is also ridiculous as well. Anyone who knows anything about ballistics knows that was not a 30-06 bullet that was used. Is Patel hiding evidence? Let's just ask that question. All right, I want to go to the National Guard on streets that Chicago. Trump has asked that the case, the federal court of appeals, the Court of Appeals, has said that he doesn't have the right to deploy National Guard on the streets in Chicago or anywhere else, really. The same, similar findings in courts, appeals courts, federal courts around the US. But he's asked that Chicago case go to the SCOTUS. We'll look at how they might rule. You would have heard this morning that Israel said Hamas broke a ceasefire. They started bombing again, killed more Palestinians. No, that was, get this, a settler bulldozer in Rafah trying to bulldoze houses, set off unexploded bombs. Yeah, I got a shock too. What are the settlers doing Israeli settlers doing in Gaza? Anyway, Netanyahu knew the circumstances of that. He lied and continued to bomb Gaza. The White House found out the truth and told him to stop. Will Israel ever own any part of Gaza in the long term? Now, I know my intuition, my geopolitical analyst hat says no, they won't, because of the deal that was done between the Gulf countries and the powers that be in the US. So we'll take a look at that. Will they ever own? I hope I'm going to get a no, but we'll see. We'll ask the question. Also, I want to go over to Europe. The flip-flopping of the US president is absolutely crazy, unless you understand that perhaps he, one moment he's saying Zelensky can take all the land and win the war. The next moment he's saying give up your land and playing into Putin's hands. Does he really want peace? What's he trying to do here? Are the military-industrial complex looking for another war? Are they willing to sacrifice Europe and the Ukraine to go to war in Russia? They'd have to put, according to NATO's arrangements, that the America would have to put boots on the ground. What are they trying to do? Does he want peace? We'll have a look. Our poor Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, it's his turn now. Is gearing up for a meeting with Trump in the White House on your Monday. It's Monday here in Australia, so we're a day in front. But on Monday, in US time, Anthony Albanese is due to meet Trump. My God, how's all that going to go? Now, you will have known or read, or if you don't know, China is restricting the sale or the trade of its critical minerals. Now, they're used in anything from fighter jets through to phones, computers, everything. Australia has, I think it's about number 5 or 6 down the list of countries that have lots of these minerals, because China has the most. Then comes Vietnam. I think what comes next, and then I think it's Australia 4th or 5th anyway. Is Albanese going to promise our critical minerals, Australia's critical minerals, to the US? I mean, how's this meeting going to go? All right, so let's get started. I've got my trusty card machine. I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot and also the Morgan Greer. I do have the Rider-Waite as well, so we'll just get I do one shuffle. Well, people have asked to have a look at it. It's very easy. It's just the shuffler that playing cards are used. That are used, I guess, in, I don't know if casinos use them, but anyway, it's just a playing card shuffler, and I use pocket decks to fit that shuffler. All right, and so I've recently bought a lot of pocket decks. As you know, I've got to have operations on my hands from a long career in writing. So research writing. And so, yeah, I should have had the operation done 10 years ago. It's carpal tunnel and arthritis. All right, so that operation will be done in February. Until then, the card shuffler stays. All right, so Page of Cups. All right, let's get started then. The first one, the No Kings Rally. The No Kings Rally. I mean, he can post silly memes. I mean, poo jokes, really, is what it was. A poo joke. I mean, who does that but a 15-year-old kid? I mean, to state the bloomin' obvious. All right, no kings. Also, I do want to get in Prince Andrew. In case you haven't known, Prince Andrew and Epstein. Prince Andrew has given up all his titles. He still remains a prince, but the Duke of York title is gone. His various other, titles, dignitaries, whatever, they've all been relinquished as new evidence comes out about he and Epstein. He has basically asked, I shouldn't shuffle, he's asked, in the past, he asked his own police protection, the Metropolitan Police Force, the Met, to investigate his Epstein accuser, Virginia Giuffre, the late Virginia Giuffre. So things are getting pretty grim over there in the UK for Prince Andrew. All right, and Fergie as well. All right, so let's have a look. No Kings, what did they think? Let's do another shuffle. Let's hone in on the No Kings rally. Everywhere, beautiful scenes coming out of the US. Really inspirational scenes. What did Trump think of the No Kings rally? What did Trump really think? And his government to understand the depth, the breadth of the pushback against his government. Something wants to come out. We get wish fulfillment upside down. Okay, so certainly wasn't his wish. One of his aims, of course, is to chip away at democracy. But it, with these sort of rallies, it shows that people are going to resist, not going to give their democracy up easily. Boundaries, of course, being holding or being held. All right, what did Trump really think? Trump and his government really think of the No Kings rally. What do they expect? Okay, so we get happiness. I think the amount of joy, the dancing, the singing, the inflatable animals, the community spirit was the thing that they didn't like. Oh, absolutely. We get the Tower card here. Wow, the Sun card. The Sun card and the Tower card. The Sun card is life, it's affirming, it's joyful, it's happiness, it's the brightest, shiniest card in the pack, and then it's crossed by the Tower. And look at the crown at the top of the Tower. What a way to beat this person. It is absolutely the perfect way to show him and his advisors, brutal, unhinged advisors in some cases. It was the perfect way to do it. Wow. Now, it's interesting because we get the King of Cups, which is a move toward a hand outstretched. That's interesting. I think he realises that there is, perhaps another way that he might be able to approach things. Now, he may not be as brutal. He may be more secretive in the way he does things. But this was, I don't know if they expected it. I don't even think that's relevant, whether they expected it or not. But the peacefulness of it, the way that it engendered that community spirit, unnerved him, because there's strength in that. Now we get the betrayal and heartbreak is in the past here. That is the feelings that have, it's almost when the darkness is there, when the evil is, and yes, there is evil there, and you grieve and you despair, and you find the strength to come forward strongly. That's what they can't deal with. Okay. There we get the wish fulfillment here. The smug merchant, wish fulfillment is in the sky. He could start a round of trying to win over certain demographics. I don't know. There's a deal being done. That's also the spirit, the coming together, the unity here. What is this? The Queen of Swords in the here and now. That's objectivity, the law, women. And then we get the world, the ending, the huge ending of a cycle. In the hopes and fears, we get the Two of Pentacles trying to juggle. Can he pull things off is basically what, seeing those crowds, seeing that spirit, seeing that will, basically caused him to think, well, can I actually do some of the things that I intend to do? Not everything he's doing is succeeding. And then we get patience, something coming to fruition in time. care for oneself, care for others, but it's also she holds information that could emerge. Is this the Epstein stuff? And then we get, the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles keeps coming up in this reading. It's like we're all learning. It's like he and his backers, the oligarchy, those that would seek to remake America more in line with the oligarchical interests, put down people power, to put down democracy, to engineer and change things to the way that they want to. They're kind of learning. They're testing the boundaries all the time. But so are the people. The people are learning how to respond to this. And I think unity, reunions, and the Democrats too. That's my card for the Democrats. The people are learning how to counter him. And I think that protest brought that home. They may do something differently. Again, perhaps not being so brutal, but being more Machiavellian, more secretive about what they're doing. I think it gave them cause to think. The Nine of Pentacles, money. The Wheel of Fortune, change. Okay, so again, this holding back, cutting Democratic programs, but not cutting Republican programs in Republican states. All of this, it's going to have an impact and in the midterms, and I think that's what they're thinking. They didn't expect such strength. All right, let's have a look. Let's go to Prince Andrew now, given that I was talking to him. I'm just going to change the deck. I put it through the card shuffler, so we'll give it a couple of light shuffles. Prince Andrew and Epstein. Prince Andrew and Epstein. Of course, this is a forerunner. What is inevitable, given that Queen of Cups there for Trump? The Epstein files will eventually be released in America. Okay, so, goodness gracious, shut down the government not to swear in the 218th vote to release the Epstein files. The government can't remain shut forever. Okay, he's going to reach out and do some kind of deal. I wonder if below the surface they're trying to... I don't know. Anyway, that's a question for another day. Let's go to Prince Andrew. So I read on Prince Andrew, seems like years ago, well, maybe last year, Prince Andrew and Epstein, and I said I thought he would end up going into exile. He's all but gone into exile. So what happens with Prince Andrew? I mean, they are investigating the fact that he asked the Metropolitan Police to investigate the late Virginia Giuffre, and her book is due out soon, if it's not already out. It's coming soon. Okay, they must know. Okay, that there will be allegations in that book that are going to be further damning toward the Prince Andrew. And, of course, tarnishing the royal family as well. Okay, so, Prince Andrew, what's happening with you? What do they do? Okay, will you be investigated? Well, you are being investigated. Will you ever face charges? Will Prince Andrew ever face charges in the UK? Will Prince Andrew ever face charges in the UK? I mean, when I see him now, he can't look straight. All right, so we get the family card here, the family card. And then we also get the Eight of Pentacles. Again, you know, we're all learning in this time of great change. The family, something around the royal family, maybe looking at what it can do, what its options are. We have strength here. The strength card at the foundation of the reading. We get perhaps manipulation, decision, you know, trying to juggle things. That's in the past. Whatever's coming out now is no longer being able to be swept under the carpet. I asked if he would be charged, and we get the Hierophant card, which is the courts. There's a potential for him to be charged with something, as terrible as that may be. We get the Death card in the immediate future. What is that there? The end of something. The end of something. I mean, will he be will he go into exile? Well, that was my prediction. There's a lot of anxiety here at the moment, and then, yeah, this is the situation for him right now. These two cards, the Four of Swords, retreat, wounded in battle, a lot of anxiety. What else is there to come? We get betrayal in the hopes and fears, and then we get the Queen of Cups. Here she is. She was in Trump's reading as well. When I say the Epstein girls, they're no longer girls, right? People say they're girls, not women. I speak about them in the present day. They are women. They were girls back then, but when I do a reading in the present, I'm talking about them outside the Congress giving their speeches. They're not girls. They're women now. They were girls back then. I shouldn't have to say it. But anyway, some people can't seem to use their heads. All right, so the Queen of Cups, she's here. There's something else coming out. And the Hermit card, isolation, further tells me they will push him so far away. Yeah, he's moving to another country. So I'll stick with my first, and then we get boundaries. My first reading, there's more to come, perhaps in this book, much, much more. Will he be charged? I don't know. There's a possibility because the Hierophant in the crown in this reading shows there is a possibility he could be charged. But this reading is telling me there's more coming, and it's likely he will leave England. There's the Devil card. There's the Devil. You know, as much and all as we get cynical about politics, about the way the political system works, in this day of social media, very little can be hidden. Very little can be hidden. All right, now, speaking of hiding things, let's go to Cash Patel. All right, what do you want to show me? I mean, this sends shivers up my spine. My original reading, for those that don't recall, showed a government and a foreign government involvement. My additional readings show that Tyler Robinson did not fire the bullet that murdered Kirk, and that there was a cover-up. All right, so now, why is this important? Why is this important, you would ask? Because off the back of that assassination, Trump introduced via his executive authority, whatever authority that is, a presidential authority, introduced this domestic terror laws, which haven't been tested in the courts as well. Again, always pushing the boundaries. When he does these things, they're not a fait accompli. They're simply there to test what he can and can't do, to chip away and erode that democracy. And when I say democracy, eroding people power, for those on the right, if you want to do right-left, that game, for those on the right, he's got a list of all from the gun registries of all those owners who own guns. Why would he need that? Okay. Is he coming for your guns, or is he coming for you? Is he coming for your free speech? They are questions for the entire political spectrum, whether you're red, white, or purple, or whatever. Okay. All right. Is Patel hiding evidence? Is the FBI director Cash Patel hiding evidence? Odd. Two tables. Something falling down in between the table. There's evidence here that he's not presenting. It's evidence that's been collected. It's paper. There's evidence there. If I don't know how you get it, but maybe it'll come out. Someone said, "Oh, it'll never come out." I don't know about that. They've documented something that's being hidden, because I see a document slip down between two tables. Okay, is Cash Patel, for entertainment purposes only, is Cash Patel hiding evidence? Is he hiding evidence? Is he hiding evidence? Somebody has film that's important to this. I keep seeing that camera, that photographer camera. Okay, so there's a crossroads here. Many have said this is those that know psyops say that this is a huge psyop. Okay, so we get the hanged man pausing something and a crossroads. Okay, that's interesting. Again, I said once we get through to the court case for Tyler Robertson, the patsy, in my opinion, we could hear he could be acquitted. That was another reading that I made when the court case happens. Okay, so these are odd cards. Heavy decisions and pausing something. Heavy, is this alluding to a change in the investigation? And then we get victory, the Six of Wands in the foundation of the reading. Victory, wants victory. The Emperor is in the past, a president, someone in control. That's in the past. Control is in the past. So he's looking to take back control of the narrative. The Sun card is here too. Interestingly, came out in the No Kings rally. Full illumination, brightness, revelation is crowning this reading. Wow, here similar cards, wish fulfillment. Okay, so it's like a huge. Con is not the right word, and I'm looking at everything that they're trying to do. It's a it's a huge and dangerous con. Okay, so we get a movement in the here and now, a movement forward, and then the atmosphere around is complete and utter falling. It's the end of something. So there's a movement, and again, mainly being driven by right-wing commentators who smell a rat here. This could also be, if something is found to be hidden, that's probably more the question. Will they find what is being hidden? This would be the end for Patel. Okay, so we get the Queen of Rods in the hopes and fears. A woman, she knows something. There's a woman involved that knows more than we know. Now, justice is the outcome card. Are they hiding stuff? And we get justice. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're talking about Kash Patel, the head of the FBI. The outcome card is justice. Yes, yes, yes. And then we get the Seven of Cups, illusion and delusion, smoke screens trying to obscure. And then we get the King of Rods, the law, the courts stepping forward. And then we get secrets. I give you the cards. Are they hiding stuff? Absolutely. Are they hiding evidence? Absolutely. What comes after the High Priestess? Yeah, abuse of power. Secrets, abuse of power. Good God. I do, but there's change here underneath here, and boundaries. So there is a chance, given the Sun is crowning this reading, that this will all come out in one way or another. Comes out. Okay, and he would have to step down as a result. Okay, we've got other questions to get to, so let's keep going. Chicago National Guard, deploying the National Guard to Chicago, going to SCOTUS. I think I haven't kept up with the California case, but I think it too might be going. But let's just look at the Chicago, and of course Portland. Let's not forget Portland, Oregon. Wow. Again, pushing. That's why people get exhausted, because it's always a question of pushing, chipping, eroding, and the only way to counter that is to fight back, to push back. All right, Chicago. How are the SCOTUS going to rule? Will they decide that the president has unilateral absolute authority to deploy the National Guard to Chicago when all of the lower courts have found that they don't. All right, will the SCOTUS give Trump the approval to deploy the National Guard in Chicago? Will SCOTUS give Trump the approval to deploy the National Guard in Chicago? Temperance and moderation I'm getting. So we get this could be not far away. The decision is not far away. And then we get an outstretched deal. I don't like those cards. But anyway, let's keep going. Page of Rods. They might put parameters around it. Let's hope they're not going to uphold this in any way. So we get in the past, they could, I think it's around the definition of what a insurrection rebellion actually is. Crowding this reading is, I don't know, it could go either way. I can't believe I'm even saying that. I haven't got to the end yet. See, testing the boundaries, always testing the boundaries with that Eight of Pentacles. Someone who's chipping away. There he is with his hammer and his chisel, chipping away at democracy. Here and now is that he's absolutely been told he can't. The courts are introducing, masked ice have to wear cameras here. There's a particular, is she a female judge in Chicago? Really laying down the law. It would be a absolute disaster if the Supreme Court ruled this way. And then we get the King of Rods. What is Congress's role in this? Something coming to fruition in time. And then we get the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help. And then the Ace of Pentacles. This is important. I'm going to draw a clarifier. And the Knight of Pentacles, stability. They have to preserve states' rights here. They can't hand everything over to Trump. Something coming to fruition in time. Maybe this initial round says no. Maybe they kick the can down the road a bit. Will they say no? Can you show me this King of Rods? Yeah. So there's going to be wide down that Six of Pentacles again. Okay, here is what I think. Some are going to say yes on the Supreme Court. We're not surprised by that. However, the Six of Pentacles appearing twice to me says the National Guard is there to go in and help states, not to hinder them. So they're going to reaffirm that. I don't think they're just going to say, Trump, you can send the National Guard in. There are strict parameters around how and when it can be sent in. There's a lot of anxiety around this question. But I do get that that Knight of Cups there, the Queen. Again, I don't think Barrett is going to... I think Barrett will side. I think that they're... Okay. No, it can't be sent in for no reason at all. That's what they're going to find. We have the Ten of Cups, the voter, the families. We get withholding, standing one's ground, and there's the Temperance card, which is what I thought. So I'm going to say it's not a, clear you can't ever send them in. It's just that there has to be particular parameters around how the National Guard is used. Okay. So many questions. Who funds the National Guards? There's that as well coming into it. So long and the short, no. They will reiterate the parameters around which a president can send in the National Guard, and it's only if the governor asks for their help. Where the governor says no, can't be done. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thankfully, There's something also. I'm interested now. I'll find out who funds the National Guard, and I'll tell you that in the pinned comment. Okay, let's get to where do we want to go now? I was going to go to Israel and the war in Europe, but I'll keep those for later on in the week. I want to particularly go now to the Australian Prime Minister's meeting with Albanese. All right, the Australian Prime Minister's meeting with Albanese. I should change the decks because this is important. Important for Australians, important for Australia and Australians and Americans. Important to, it's a critical meeting. So what can you show me about Anthony Albanese's meeting with Trump? Trump is going to try and, so I see someone, driving a sword into, Trump is going to try and get the upper hand with him. Something about, I don't know why I got a religious symbol as well, Christians. Okay, yeah. This is to do with Palestine, recognising Palestinian state. It's to do with Israel as well, and how, it's all of that. All right. Show me the meeting between Trump and Albanese. How is it going to go? There's a card that jumped out, but I'll get to that. So the Knight of Swords, the truth, and then lies. Truth and lies. Truth and lies. Objectivity. Okay, anyone who knows Albanese, and I do, I know him from my public service days when he was a minister, knows that he's a fairly straight person. What you see is what you get with him, and I think that's going to come forward. But what worries me here is these signifying cards, the truth, and trying to steal something. Secrets, AUKUS comes to mind, the deal around the nuclear submarines. We've paid a lot of money already for nothing. Sorry, I forgot I had my microphone on. The High Priestess is in the past. Secrets. Queen of Cups is in the sky. Standing one's ground. Albanese will have to defend himself on certain, like everybody else that comes to that Oval Office, will have to defend himself. He will stand his ground, though. He will stand his ground. The Justice card there is in the here and now. The scales of justice, and then we get it's a hard slog. It's a hard slog for any American ally at the moment. We get the Six of Swords moving on from troubled waters in the hopes and fears, but it's reversed. So there's a great fear that what has dogged Albanese and Trump in their past relationship will continue, will be seen at that meeting. Holding back something, that's not a good card. The Four of Pentacles means standing one's ground and holding something back. What is this? And then a surprise offer, holding back, and then a surprise and an inevitability. They might announce that AUKUS will go ahead. There's been negotiations on that in the past. There's an inevitability here. Yeah, there's going to be announcements, something around critical minerals. But we have the Death card here, and then moderation. So what is the end? The Death card, the end of something. Moderation. There's Albanese's between I keep saying this, a rock and a hard place. So what are we going to see? We're going to see Anthony Albanese sticking to his guns. we may see, it seems like the Americans wanted more money or wanted more. And Albanese is stuck to his guns in some way. But I do see an announcement where there's some kind of working together, but it's some kind of arrangement with the devil. So again, by and large, the meeting I think will go reasonably well. But I do feel that Albanese will have to, with that Four of Pentacles in the outcome, will play it very carefully, stick to his guns, and there will be a couple of announcements on critical minerals. It's a deal with the devil, and they could be something around AUKUS as well. What I do know is a lot of negotiations gone on in secret in the past, and that's not good for Australians either, because it's our country, our government, our future. So anyway, I think Albanese by and large will play it safely and keep his cards close to his chest. All right, thanks for that. I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.